All right, so we're just going to do a little demo talking about how to convert from percentages, which are, again, a specific kind of ratio, it's just per 100, to other kind of ratios that might be easier for readers to understand. And typically we get this when we have really low percentages. All right, so let's make up an example, and let's assume that aliens exist. They very rarely kill people, but sometimes they do. And so in Texas, we have 29,530,000 people, and in a given year, 70 are killed by aliens. Other kind of, more realistic ways that we would use this are for some certain kinds of drug deaths that are really rare, others rare phenomena in the world. Okay, so let's start by making a percentage. So this is the percent killed. And we know that our formula for a percentage is part divided by whole times 100. Okay, so I know that 0.00023% of Texans are killed each year by aliens, but in a newspaper article, or if I'm trying to communicate to people, this is really not very meaningful. And so typically what we would want to do is, instead of saying percent or per 100, I want to make that per number larger. So per thousand or per million even, okay? And the way that we're going to do that is we're going to change this percent, okay? So from per 100, we're going to go to per one, right? So for per one Texan, how many were killed by aliens? So I'm going to call this per one. And my formula for that is just my formula for a percent without that times 100 on it. Okay, so it's just part divided by whole. Okay, and this is the number in scientific notation. It's even smaller than this number. All right, we don't really need to worry about it too much. And now to get, say, per 1,000, I'm just going to multiply it by however much I want. So let's say per 1,000 and see if that's better for us. So I'm going to say per 1,000 is equal to my per 1 times 1,000. And I get, okay, 0.0023. It's better than per 100, but it's not a lot better than per 100. So let's try per million. And per million is going to be equal to my per 1 times, and I always have trouble, so I'm going to count my zeros. So hundreds, thousands, millions. So 1 million. Okay, so I know that 2.37 people per million were killed by aliens. That's much better to tell readers. I understand 2.3 people. I don't really understand 0.002 people. That's not really a way that we think. So again, my process is, if my percent is not a kind of number that people are going to understand, I'm going to convert that to a per one, and my formula there is just part divided by whole, and then I'm going to multiply that number by, nice even numbers like thousand or million, until I get to a number that people understand. And that's how we convert from percents, which are a very specific kind of ratio, to other ratios that are easier to read.